My name is Susan Labrakis, and I'm Director of Workforce for the Aerospace Industries Association, and it is my great honor to have the job of recognizing the terrific organizations and people who made today possible and to announce the winning teams. In fact, all of the participants are winners, and we thank everyone for coming out today, even in the rain, to meet and celebrate with them. Before we get started with business, I have a few questions for you students. What do you think? Did you have fun today? And through TARC, have you gotten to experience some things that you've never done before? Good. Well, that's how those of us in the aerospace industry feel about the work we do every day, and we're happy to share a sample of it with you. We hope that someday you're going to be working right alongside with us. I'd like to introduce the guests we have on the stage who represent the aerospace industry and the departments of the federal government who look forward to employing your talents. Marion Blakey, President and CEO of the Aerospace Industries Association. Trip Barber, he's President of the National Association of Rocketry, and I think you've all gotten to know him pretty well. Brigadier General Jay Santee from the United States Air Force. Sharak Parikh from the National Security Council at the White House. And his colleague Phil Larson from the Office of Science and Technology Policy at the White House. We also have Neil Keating, CEO of Command Corporation. Terry Lyons, CEO of AmSafe. John Rood, Vice President of Business Development at Raytheon. And Michelle Robbins, Director of Government Relations at Lockheed Martin. Thanks to all of you for traveling to be here with us today and for your support of the Team America Rocketry Challenge. Immediately following the ceremony, we'll have our barbecue dinner in the tent over there, and you're probably getting hungry, so let's get down to business. First, we want to thank all of the aerospace companies who have supported TARC. You companies are industry leaders today, and you're doing the important work of encouraging the next generation of aerospace leaders for tomorrow. We can't thank you enough. Let's give our sponsors a big round of applause. And how about all the amazing and generous AIA and National Association of Rocketry staff who've worked so hard, dedicated so much time and energy to make today be a big success and run smoothly. And let's give an extra special thanks to Trip Barber and John Hockheimer of NAR for their leadership and hard work. This truly would not be possible without you. And with that, I would like to introduce Trip Barber, President of the National Association of Rocketry, to say a few words.
Well, thank you very much. It's been our pleasure and privilege to fly with you today. This is what we do in the National Association of Rocketry. We fly rockets. We were founded 53 years ago simply for the purpose of promoting rocket safety and education in America's young people. And this is the best program that we have ever had. We're so grateful to the Aerospace Industries Association and to their aerospace corporation partners for providing the support and teamwork that lets us do what we like to do, which is fly rockets with young people and teach young people how to fly them and build them. So we're very, very happy that we have this program. We're delighted to have been able to support you today. The 5,000 members of the National Association of Rocketry across the United States support this program. They mentored many of you on your way to here, and 108 of them traveled at their own expense from all across America to be here today to be the range crew. And I would like to recognize and thank the range crew of the National Association of Rocketry. We're particularly happy to have our partners and friends from Japan with us today. And we understand that there was a terrible incident a few months ago in Japan, an earthquake, a tsunami, tremendous devastation and loss of life. And the hearts of the members of the National Association of Rocketry went out to our friends in Japan. And I asked the members of the association if they would like to contribute to the fund that has been established for earthquake victims in Japan. and they stepped forward, as did many of you today, to make contributions. And so I would like to invite the captain or the manager of the team from Japan, from Iwate High School, Mr. Harada, to come to the stage, and I would like to present, on behalf of the members of the National Association of Rocketry and all of you here today, a check for $4,000 made out to the Earthquake Aid Fund of Japan.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. 今日 TARC 大会にお招きいただきありがとうございました。私どもの岩手チームは全力で戦いました。今日持てる力をすべて出し切ったと思います。多くのチームがこれだけハイレベルの戦いをするとは思ってもいませんでした。かなりハイレベルな戦いです。そしてこの広大なグレートメドウの、牧場の広さに驚きました。また再度このようなですね、挑戦をさせていただける機会を設けていただくならばお願いしたいと思います。Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, I really appreciate inviting us TARC competition. Team Japan did their best. I surprised many teams' level of skill was quite high. I was overwhelmed by the size of great medal. I'm very happy with the chance of challenge will begin again someday. Thank you.
Before you go, we have a presentation plaque here for the members of the team to commemorate their participation in the Team America Rocketry Challenge. Remember, this is the team that won this event in Japan, and we are so happy to have them here. And Marion Blakey and I would like to present a plaque to them in recognition of their participation. There we go.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Iwate High School team from Japan. We are glad to participate in this TARC and really happy to meet you all. Also, lucky to make many new friends in this time. We could watch amazing skills of the US teams. They make us excited and gave us new hints and ideas. So, we had a wonderful experience and had a good time. Thank you. Thank you very much. By the way, one more thing, we must say thank you to the US government and all the US people on behalf of the Japanese. As you know, on March, Japan had terrible disasters and crises, earthquake, tsunami, and nuclear power plant accident. We had been worried about if we could join this event because we are from same prefecture of tsunami area. Fortunately, our living city was safe. However, now Japan is recovering and rebuilding quickly day by day. We'll never forget many helps and support from other countries. Especially, we deeply appreciate the U.S. corporation, the naval aircraft Ronald Reagan, and the Operation Tomodachi. We'd like to express our gratitude from the bottom of our hearts. Anyway, we could come here. We wish you a good success and hope to meet you again. Thank you very much, and sayonara.
What a very special honor it is to have the Japanese team with us this year. You know, in our industry, companies compete with each other on some programs at the same time that they partner and cooperate on others. This happens not only here in the U.S., but with companies around the globe. Through the Team America Rocketry Challenge, you get some exposure to the global competition that our companies are a part of every day. Today's #1 team will compete with teams from the United Kingdom and France at the Paris Air Show in June. And next year, we hope that the Japanese team will also join us at the Farnborough Air Show for our Rocketry Olympics. As was mentioned last evening, presentation will be a big part of the TARC competition at the Paris Air Show. We want to congratulate all 12 of the teams who participated in our presentation contest today. Let's give them all a hand. And now for the results of that part of the competition. Taking third place in the presentation contest is Georgetown, Texas 4-H from Georgetown, Texas. And the second place team is Covenant Christian Academy from Huntsville, Alabama. And I'd like to ask the first place team to join us here on the stage. Rockwall Heath High School, team #1. Congratulations.
Yes. Congratulations. Congratulations. Here's your trophy and your cash prize. Thank you. See you again.
And now it is my pleasure to introduce Marion Blakey, the President and CEO of the Aerospace Industries Association. AIA represents the nation's leading manufacturers and suppliers across all sectors of the aerospace and defense industry, with nearly 300 members. Marion has served as the administrator of the Federal Aviation Administrator and as chairman of the National Transportation Safety Board. Please give a welcome to Marion Blakey.
Thanks, Susan. And what a great crowd today. Listen, I'll tell you, the skies didn't open on us because they knew that the enthusiasm and the electricity here, we're going to keep those clouds at bay. You all did a great job all day. Congratulations. And I'll tell you what, we are delighted as an industry to be here and supporting this kind of effort because believe me, as you all are thinking about careers and thinking about where you want to go next, I can guarantee you that some of the best jobs in America are those with the companies that are part of the aerospace industry. Remember, of course, that we take great pride in the kind of products that you've seen on display here and that we're all a part of. Not only because they're keeping our men and women in uniform safe, which is a critical part of when we get up in the morning, how we feel about the work we do, but also think about the knowledge of the universe that our space programs and others generate. Think about how we really bring the world closer together through aviation. So, on behalf of a lot of folks in the industry, I do want to thank those who particularly make the event possible again. The National Association of Rocketry, our great partners in TARC. Obviously, this contest would not be possible without the range officers that you met all day today. And I have to say, there is a special thanks that goes to the guy who's been with us from the beginning, and that's Trip Barber. Trip, gotta have a shout out to Trip. And guys, we have a new coordinator this year too, Ann Ward. Ann was running around all day. Could we give her a shout out as well? Ann, where are you? Right over here. Right over here. And I'll tell you, I could be listing off lots of companies and lots of folks who've done wonderful things. I mean, those of you who were over there for the Lockheed Martin Joint Strike Fighter simulator, I tried to get in a couple of times, guys. Not a chance. You know, the line was there, and I thought, I'm never going to get my spot to sit down this time. But those of you who did know how terrific it is. So I just want to give a lot of thanks to all of those companies who did step up on all of this. I also want to make sure that there are two companies that really we do recognize because they've gone above and beyond in every way. Raytheon, we have to say, you know, that trip to the Paris Air Show this year, Farnborough last year, it's all made possible by Raytheon, and Lockheed with the terrific scholarships that they put up for us. So, again, now, let me introduce our next speaker, because he also is a member of the Executive Committee of the Aerospace Industries Association. Neil Keating is the President and Chief Operating Officer of Command Corporation. Command produces components that are in every aircraft just about in the sky. The company also manufactures the cockpits for Sikorsky's Black Hawk. All of you know the Black Hawk helicopter, a mainstay literally of our armed forces. Command, one of America's great aerospace companies, is also one of our sponsors. Neil?
Thank you, Marion. Today was the first time I had the chance to come to the Team America Rocketry Challenge, and quite frankly, this morning, my son and I didn't know what to expect. But I can tell you, from the moment that young lady got up and sang the national anthem, it's been just an extraordinary day. The thing that struck me was that at the 80th launch, I still went, wow! and it was just something really special. And I want to thank all of you for that. And the other thing is that it's really an honor for me today to represent Command Corporation, but quite honestly, all of the great companies in the aerospace and defense industries in the United States today, and you see just a few of them here, great companies like Lockheed Martin, Raytheon, and a number of others that support this effort each year and support our industry. The thing that I think is also interesting is that the founder of our company, Charlie Command, actually started as you guys have. It was a little bit different in that day. They weren't rockets. But Charlie built balsa wood and fabric airplane models. And in fact, set the U.S. world endurance record for a hand-launched airplane model back in the early 1940s. So much like you, that's how he started. It's also time, I think, particularly today, looking at this crowd, that we talk a lot about Charlie Command, the founder of our company, but for those of you that hear the radio program sometimes, the rest of the story, I'm going to tell you the rest of the story. Actually, there was a co-founder to our company that was very unique for somebody in 1955. Her name was Helen Sylvander, and she had both an undergraduate degree in aeronautical engineering and art. And when you look at the early drawings in the bottom right-hand title block, you'll see the name Helen Sylvander. When you look at the design notebooks, you'll see the name Helen Sylvander. Later, she became known as Mrs. Command. But at Command, we're very proud to have played our part early on to support women in aviation. So congratulations to all the women in aviation here today. You know, most importantly, today is about you and about what you've done and what you've accomplished even to make it here today. Because the way you really embraced a challenge, the way that you decided that you were going to master physics, mathematics, engineering, assembly, and even most challenging, leadership. And from what we saw today was absolutely extraordinary. So I hope that as we stand up here today at a little bit different point in our careers than you, that you see today as a stepping stone to playing a key role in an extraordinary industry here in the United States, aerospace. Something that has brought so much to our country, whether it was landing a man on the moon or everything that has come from this industry over time. And certainly I think all of us are confident from what we've seen in you that you can help take us that next step forward, and we look forward to that contribution. The last thing I'd like to say is that, you know, when I was your age, I was inspired by a few different kinds of people. They were people like Neil Armstrong. They were people like Jim Lovell. They were people like Dick Yeager. And today, as I thought about this, I'm inspired by you. And I'm inspired by what you've accomplished, what I'm confident you can accomplish. And I look out and I know that you guys have the right stuff. Thank you.
Thank you, Neil. I've been pretty busy today, but I did get a chance to walk over to where the rocket building contest was taking place, and it looked to me like, indeed, they have the right stuff, and they were having an awful lot of fun being the right stuff. So the next thing we're going to do is announce the winners of today's rocket building contest, and the winning team should come forward. There are two teams, San Marcos High School from San Marcos, California, and Gaston Day School from Gastonia, North Carolina. Come on up.
This is your prize for the best craftsmanship. You truly have craftsmanship skills to build a magnificent rocket. There's a cash prize and a plaque for you. Thank you. Come on forward. You get the prize for the most creative design, so congratulations on your great rocket building skills. Here is your plaque and your prize.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Congratulations. Congratulations, everyone.
And we have 4 more special judges awards to give out, and these will actually be given at the Raytheon tent. So pick up these awards after the ceremony at the Raytheon tent. The winner of the award for the best rocket craftsmanship is Lake Michigan Academy from Grand Rapids, Michigan. Congratulations. And winning for best overall mission design is Rockwell Heath team from Heath number 1 from Heath, Texas. I don't think you will be surprised. The Best Dressed Team Award goes to Presidio High School, teams 1, 2, 4, and 5 from Presidio, Texas. Awesome. And the Spirit of TARC Award for teamwork, sportsmanship, and team spirit is won by the Challenger Learning Center from Jacksonville, Florida. Congratulations to all the award winners. Mary?
Well, before we move to our next speaker, because he's got a nice, something very different for us this year, I do also want to make sure that you all know that we are very privileged to have the government guests we have with us. 2 representatives from the White House. And I must say, Sharik Parikh, who is with the National Security Council, remember this is the security policy, that very tough coordination job for all of government. And having with us Phil Larson, who not only is with the Office of Science and Technology Policy for the White House, but he's an Embry-Riddle graduate and a rocket builder. So we're delighted to have you both. And one of our longest, strongest sponsors, the U.S. Air Force, it is a true delight to have with us today Brigadier General Jay Santee. Jay, we can't thank you and Teresa enough for being here. And General Santee, I must tell you, is responsible for space policy. Again, within the Air Force, is working with a team there. So this is cutting edge stuff for all of us, and we're delighted to have you. Now, I promised you something new this year. And our next speaker is the CEO of AmSafe Industries, Terry Lyons. With innovations such as the world's first, get this, seatbelt airbag system. And I've tried it out. It's pretty impressive. The company is #1 in safety and securement products for aerospace, defense, and ground transportation systems. Terry.
Thank you, Marion. Let me just start by saying I'm just so privileged to have been here today, and I agree with my colleague Neil that you guys are a true inspiration to me. And I'll tell you, after today, I feel a lot better about the future of our industry, and for that matter, the future of our country. You're great. Part of why I'm here today is to talk about another inspirational young man. He's one of your peers. He was one of your peers. His name's Brendan Cutler, and Brendan was a 17-year-old who participated in TARC with a team of his friends from Harvard Westlake School in Los Angeles back in 2008. They did pretty well. They made it here to the finals. They placed 13th overall. They apparently had a less than stellar second flight. Brendan was a bright kid, a very bright kid, very talented. He was fluent in Japanese. He had a variety of interests that went beyond rocketry. He was a kid who had a passion for art, for cinema, for computer science, just a very talented young man. He was a junior in high school. He was headed to MIT, and I'm very confident that Brendan was going to join our industry and do some good things over his career. Over Christmas in 2009, Brendan died. He went to bed on the 28th of December, and he just didn't wake up the next day. To this day, his parents have never been able to figure out what happened. His heart just stopped, is all the doctors could tell him. His parents are good friends. His father's a longtime colleague of mine and a very, very good friend of the aerospace industry, John Cutler. He's served our industry in a lot of capacities for several decades. And last year I was trying to think of a way to make something positive come out of such a tragic situation, and I approached Marion and I suggested to her that perhaps we could sponsor a scholarship for the participants in TARC. And she thought it was a fantastic idea, and we decided that we'd unveil it here today. So my company and those who wish to support us will, beginning the academic year 2012-2013, sponsor a fairly generous scholarship for one of you. $5,000 four-year scholarship, so $20,000 over the course of an academic career for someone who participates in TARC. For those of you who aren't yet juniors and seniors, keep participating. So the eligibility will be anybody who participates in TARC during their junior or senior year. For those of you who are seniors this year, we're going to have a special rule for that first year. If you are interested, we'll be able to apply for the scholarship at the time it becomes available. That'll be your first year in college for most of you, but we thought it important to not foreclose the opportunity to anyone who participated this year. It'll be open to anybody who, not only those who make the finals, but any team that submits a qualifying score. So we hope to open it up broadly to all of the kids who potentially are going to influence our industry in the future. We really want to make both a lasting legacy to Brendan Cutler and more important, to help make a difference in the life of several of you potentially and your peers to further strengthen our industry and to really help you all achieve what you can do. So I look forward to all of you applying for the scholarship. When you qualify for it, we will post the application at the appropriate time on the rocketcontest.org website. So that'll be the way to download the appropriate forms. And again, I'm really inspired by all of you, and I'm in awe of you. So thank you very much for all you've done.
Terry, thank you for that very moving, generous, and exciting opportunity now for folks who are participating in TARC. So we're delighted for this. Now, I'll tell you, this is the moment you've been waiting for. This is when we really get down to it, as to say, our winning teams. So without more ado, I just want to say how inspiring it is to be with every one of you, and we're going to give a big hand to those who are winning. Susan?
All right, before I read out the top 25 teams, I want to underscore the fact that all of these top placing teams, the top 25, are eligible to participate in the 2012 NASA Student Launch Initiative. So the teachers who coach each of these teams should meet the NASA representative at the Raytheon tent before the barbecue to pick up your information packets. I'm going to announce and recognize now the teams who finished 11th through 25th. They all fought hard in the final round, and they've done a tremendous job this year. Starting with the 25th place team, Mardickville Middle School from Piqua, Pennsylvania. Where are they? Why don't you stand up so we can applaud you? Where are you? There. Do I see them? Back there? All right. Okay. Thanks, guys. The 24th place team is Rockwall Heath High School Team Number 2 from Heath, Texas. Great. Yay. Stand up. All right. Good job. 23rd place is Kickapoo High School in Springfield, Missouri. Where are you, Kickapoo? 22nd place is Georgetown 4-H from Georgetown, Texas. In 21st place is Falls Church High School, Falls Church, Virginia. 20th place team is Butler County High School Team 1 from Morgantown, Kentucky. There we go. The 19th place team is the Challenger Learning Center from Jacksonville, Florida. 18th is Medford Area Senior High School Team 2 from Medford, Wisconsin. 17th place is St. Thomas High School from Houston, Texas. The 16th place winner is Eastside High School from Covington, Georgia. In 15th place, we have the Challenger Center from Woodstock, Illinois. th place is Butler County High School Team 2 from Morgantown, Kentucky. In 13th place is Durham School of the Arts from Durham, North Carolina. All right. 12th place is Dublin's Scioto High School from Dublin, Ohio. And the 11th place team is Hewitt-Trussville High School from Trussville, Alabama. Congratulations to all of you. Now please be sure to pick up your NASA Student Launch Initiative information packet in the Raytheon tent. And now it's my honor to call out the 10th through the 4th place teams. The top 10 teams will split a prize pool of $60,000. Each of the teams receives $1,000 for their rocket club and a share of the remaining $50,000 in scholarship money that will be split among the student team members. These teams also receive the opportunity to participate in the NASA Student Launch Initiative and to take home one of these trophies to be displayed at their high school. Now, when I call your team, please come up to the stage to receive your prizes and pose for a photo. In 10th place is Penn Manor High School Team 1 from Millersville, Pennsylvania. This team receives $1,000 in cash for their club and $3,000 for the students. Come on up.
This is going to be so money.
Nothing for you, Mr. Nothing for you. I'll see if they'll rustle up a little something for you.
Congratulations. In 9th place is Plantation High School Team 3 from Plantation, Florida. This team receives $1,000 in cash and $30,000 for the club and $3,000 for the students. Congratulations. Now in 8th place we have Festus High School from Festus, Missouri. This team also receives $1,000 in cash for their club and $3,000 for the students.
Look how, wait till you see when our guys go up there.
They're so little.
They're so young.
Come on, get it.
All right, in 7th place is Thomas Jefferson High School from Alexandria, Virginia. This team receives $1,000 in cash for the club and $3,000 for their students.
Well, you
because I don't want to miss it.
yeah, she'll announce it, and then you'll right.
Pose here for a picture. Sixth place team is the Green Vale School from New York.
New York.
This team receives $1,000 in cash
New York.
for their club and $3,000 for their students.
New York.
Wow.
You get him, baby.
Go over here, it's fine. Just don't, it's fine. There you go. Perfect.
Yeah. Yeah.
Our 5th place winner is Bond County 4-H from Mulberry Grove, Illinois. This team receives $1,000 in cash for the club and $3,000 for the students. And in 4th place, Albuquerque ACTSL from Albuquerque, New Mexico. This team received $1,000 in cash for their club and $3,000 for their students.
Girl. Dynamite. Hey, 4 girls. That's great.
second place teams. And now, please join me in welcoming Michelle Robbins, Director of Legislative Relations at the Lockheed Martin Corporation.
We're so glad to be part of this challenge today. We think it's imperative that our nation take part in developing the future generation of mathematicians, scientists, and engineers. We're hoping today that some of what you've been through in working on this and today's events will inspire you to become our next generation of engineers, scientists, and mathematicians. Thank you so much for what you've done.
Yeah.
So now I'm supposed to announce the third and second place winners, but we don't have a third place winner because we have a tie for second place. In second place, we have Harmony Magnet Academy from Strathmore, Georgia, and Lambert High School, team number 2 from Suwanee, Georgia. These teams will each receive $1,000 in cash for their club and $9,500 for their students. So please come on up, both of you, please.
We're 95 and let's trim this Ella.
Oh, look at that. They get let's do a photo op. One person from each team on either side of Michelle.
Okay. That's a big team. That is. One. Don't they all look dressed alike? All right.
Let the record reflect that Strathmore, California. And now I would like to introduce John Root, Vice President of Business Development for Raytheon. John?
Well, thank you, and I want to thank General Santee for joining us, our colleagues from the White House, and Marion Blakey for being here today, and the other dignitaries. At the Raytheon Company, we are just delighted to sponsor this event every year. I was pleased to come here last year, and it's great to be back again. This is a great way to encourage some of the young people in our country to reach for the stars and really be a part of the nation's aerospace and defense sector in the future. That's so important for the future of my company, but also for our country in terms of our defense and our way of life. And so thanks to the participants for being here today. Now, we're at Raytheon pleased to sponsor the winning team at the Paris Air Show at Le Bourget, which is the largest air show of its kind every year, and that's really where aeronautics and astronautics come to life every year. Now, we also sponsor the UK and French teams to come, and there will be a fly-off with the American team at Le Bourget, and so go Team USA. We're really rooting for you. I'm also pleased to see our friends from Japan here, and we look forward next year to sponsoring the Japanese team at Farnborough in the UK for a similar air show that occurs there next year. Now, this is just one of the events that we at Raytheon sponsor to try to encourage young people to be interested in math and science and aerospace and defense in the future. If you're in the Orlando area and you go to the Epcot Center, come to the Innoventions section, and you'll see a ride called the Sum of All Thrills that Raytheon puts together. You can design your own ride using math and science, whether you want that to be a jet plane ride or a bobsled ride. really a great thing. I took my children who are here today, and they just loved it last year. We also sponsor, if you want to go online, the Math Moves You competition is there, as well as Math Counts is another one that we sponsor. But this is really, I think, our favorite event, to see the kind of enthusiasm that it generates. And so, without further ado, let me just say that I'd like to congratulate the rocketry team from Rockwall Heath High School in Heath, Texas, and say that we're delighted on behalf of the 72,000 employees at Raytheon, and especially our 40,000 engineers. We would love to have you be our guest at the Paris Air Show, and I look forward to seeing you there. So congratulations.
Scholarships among the students, and they're going to the Paris Air Show, and we also have a special award for them from the Japanese team.
We're delighted to present you the first place trophy.
Thank you.
Come on, buddy.
So congratulations to all of the contestants. Let's have one more big round of applause for all the participants today. Now, before you run away, before we close the program, I need to ask everybody to stay put just for one more thing. We're doing a video about TARC to share your experiences and encourage more young people to join in. So there's a camera right up here. And I need you all to look up at the camera. On the count of 3, I want you to stand, look up at the camera, cheer and wave. And also for the students here in front who have placards, hold them way up in the air. So put them way up in the air now.
Can we get you guys
and on the count of 3, I'm going to ask you all to cheer and wave. Okay?
Can we get you
so can anyone film?
Everybody ready?
Come on, all the students are brought over to fill in.
Hang on.
Hang on, let me get out. Let me scoot out.
Okay. Tell me ready. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Cheer! Today will receive in the mail a certificate suitable for framing to commemorate the competition. Thanks to everybody for making it a great day in rocketry and in your own personal career history. Enjoy your time in DC. Have a safe trip home. We hope to see you next year. Over to the barbecue. Thanks. Take care.
Your sponsorship. That's wonderful. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye. Take care. Safe travel.